I'm a brain surgeon, and after more than 40 years of operating on the human mind, I can tell you something truly astonishing. Once you reach the age of 80, your body doesn't just grow old, it rewires itself. It's as if a hidden switch flips deep within your brain, and suddenly your entire system begins following a new set of biological rules. Rules no one ever told you about. Not your doctor, not your health books, no one. And this isn't some rare phenomenon. It happens to every single one of us. According to new findings published in the Lancet Healthy Longevity, every human body passes through the same 5 irreversible thresholds after age 80. It doesn't matter whether you've been a marathon runner, a yoga enthusiast, or a lifelong vegetarian. Your muscles, your taste buds, your skin, your brain, and even your sleep rhythms start behaving differently. Your body isn't falling apart. It's changing priorities. It's switching from performance mode to preservation mode. That's what most people misunderstand. Aging isn't simply decay. It's a silent reorganization happening inside every organ you have. Your body is rewriting the biological code that has kept you alive for 8 decades. Some of those changes protect you, but others can quietly speed up what you fear most: weakness, fatigue, and forgetfulness. In this video, I'll uncover the 5 biological transformations that take place once you hit 80, the ones no test, supplement, or checkup can truly stop. But stay with me until the end, because number 3 will leave you speechless. It's a hidden process unfolding inside your brain right now that can decide how long you'll live and how peacefully you'll rest each night. All the medical studies I mention are listed below in the description, so you can verify every fact for yourself. Before we dive in, tell me in the comments, how old are you? My team and I personally read and respond to every single story. Now let's begin with number 5. The first sign your body has officially entered its final adaptive phase. It starts right where your senses begin, your tongue. Number 5. Your taste buds shrink. Food stops feeling like food. Once you cross 80, your world doesn't just slow down, it literally starts tasting different. One of the first and most surprising shifts happens in your sense of taste, and this isn't about appetite or mood. It's your biology rewriting how your brain processes flavor. By age 80, most people have lost nearly 70% of their taste buds. Research from the Monell Chemical Senses Center found that those tiny sensors, the ones that once helped you savor morning coffee or taste fresh fruit, flatten and die off. Normally, taste buds regenerate every 10 days, but with age your body stops replacing them as efficiently. The result? Meals lose their joy. But it's not just about pleasure, it's about protection. Taste buds alert you to danger: spoiled food, toxins, or too much salt. When they fade, you begin adding more salt or sugar to compensate. That's where the real problem begins. A Harvard Health Review study from 2021 showed that older adults who lost over half their taste sensitivity were 40% more likely to develop hypertension or diabetes within 5 years. Not from aging itself, but because they unknowingly changed how they seasoned their food. There's another layer to this. Your saliva production drops dramatically after 80. Saliva carries taste molecules to your tongue. Without enough, everything starts tasting dull. That's why so many seniors lose interest in food and think nothing tastes good anymore. It's not in their heads, it's biology. Scientists even have a term for it: taste fatigue. I once treated Helen, an 82-year-old retired baker who told me I can't taste my own cakes anymore. She wasn't imagining it. Testing showed she could identify only 2 of the 5 basic flavors. To compensate, she began adding more salt and sugar to her recipes, not realizing it was raising her blood pressure. Cooking, once her greatest joy, had turned into quiet frustration. What makes this worse is that about 80% of taste comes from smell, and smell declines fast after 70, then sharply after 80. Nearly half of adults past 80 have partial or total smell loss, known as presbyosmia. That's why food starts to seem bland. It's not being smelled properly. And it's more dangerous than it sounds. Without a working sense of smell, many can't detect gas leaks, smoke, or spoiled food. Reduced appetite soon leads to malnutrition. If flavors are fading for you, don't ignore it. It's not just about missing the joy of eating. It's your body losing one of its key safety systems. Number 4, your skin forgets how to heal. By the time you turn 80, your skin doesn't just wrinkle, it forgets. And that forgetfulness isn't about beauty, it's biological. Scientists now understand that aging skin literally loses its memory of how to repair itself. A small cut that once healed in days can now linger for weeks or months. A 2022 study in Nature Aging found that after age 80, skin cells lose molecular memory. That means when you get injured, even slightly, your body forgets how to rebuild the tissue properly. Normally, fibroblasts, cells that make collagen and repair wounds, rush to the damage site and follow a genetic map to close the wound. In older adults, that map fades. The cells wander, respond slowly, or sometimes not at all. That's why so many people over 80 say their wounds just won't heal, or that bruises show up out of nowhere. It's not bad luck, it's system slowdown. And since skin thins by about 20% after 80, those wounds go deeper and infections spread faster. Blood vessels also harden, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery to the skin. Collagen, the protein that keeps your skin strong, drops by roughly 75% between ages 25 and 80. Even a gentle bump can burst capillaries, causing those familiar purple bruises known as senile purpura. I remember Evelyn, an 83-year-old patient, showing me a small paper cut. "It's been here for 3 weeks," she said, clearly frustrated. Her labs were normal, no diabetes, no infection, just slow healing. Her body hadn't failed, it had simply forgotten the steps. Scientists call this epigenetic drift. Imagine your cells as students who once followed perfect instructions. Over time, those instructions fade, and they start guessing. Some repair too little, others too much. That's why older skin heals unevenly or leaves thick scars. And since immune cells also weaken, bacteria get a head start. Studies show infections in people over 80 last 3 times longer than in middle-aged adults. But here's the hopeful side. Low-level laser therapy, collagen peptides, and vitamin C have all been shown to improve healing speed by nearly 50% in seniors. Hydration and light sunlight exposure also help reactivate those sluggish fibroblasts. So when your skin takes longer to recover, don't see it as vanity. It's your body saying, "I remember less now, so please take extra care." Number 3. Your brain starts rewiring itself. Around your 85th birthday, something both amazing and unsettling begins deep inside your head. Your brain starts quietly rewiring itself, not because it wants to, but because it must. By now, you've lost nearly 20% of your white matter, the neural highways that connect thoughts, memories, and movements. To survive, your brain begins rerouting traffic, creating detours around aging circuits. It's an act of self-preservation, but it comes with trade-offs. A 2022 Nature Neuroscience study showed that this rewiring is your brain's way of adapting to decades of wear. As neurons slow down or die, nearby ones step in to take their place. The result? You can still think and remember, but not as efficiently. It's like driving through a city where half the main roads are under construction. You'll get to your destination, but it takes longer, And sometimes you forget where you were headed. That's why many older adults describe walking into a room and forgetting why, or losing their train of thought mid-sentence. It's not dementia, it's rerouting. But this rerouting isn't random, it's intelligent. The brain begins to prioritize emotional memories over technical details. That's why at 82, you might forget what you had for lunch but recall your wedding day in vivid detail. The limbic system, your emotional core, stays remarkably strong even as analytical parts fade. I once spoke with Harold, an 84-year-old retired engineer, who laughed and said, "I can't fix my coffee maker anymore, but I remember the night I met my wife like it was yesterday." His brain wasn't failing, it was reorganizing, holding tight to what mattered most. However, there's a downside. When those new connections form imperfectly, they can trigger slower reactions, balance issues, or sudden emotional swings. A 2021 JAMA Neurology report found that nearly 1 in 3 adults over 80 experience brief cognitive fluctuations from misrouted neural signals, short bursts of confusion that come and go. It's not permanent damage, just a temporary glitch in your rewiring process. So, if you lose a word mid-conversation or pause to gather your thoughts, don't panic. It's not decline, it's adaptation. Every new idea, conversation, or memory strengthens those fresh neural paths. Next, we'll move on to number 2, a change that doesn't happen in your mind, but in your muscles. Number 2, your muscles begin consuming themselves. Sarcopenia. By the time you reach 80, something startling begins happening beneath your skin. The muscles that once carried your strength, balance, and independence quietly start consuming themselves. This process, called sarcopenia, is one of aging's most silent and dangerous shifts. It doesn't strike all at once. It creeps in slowly, turning power into fragility, strength into stiffness, and independence into reliance. According to a 2023 report from the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle, more than 45% of adults over 80 suffer from moderate to severe sarcopenia, and most have no idea it's happening. Each year your body loses about 1% of its muscle mass and up to 3% of its strength, even if you still eat well and stay active. The reason is brutally simple. The balance between muscle building and muscle breakdown collapses. You're still losing protein tissue, but your body has stopped rebuilding it fast enough. Hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone plummet with age, and your system begins cannibalizing its own muscle fibers for fuel. It breaks them down into amino acids to feed vital organs like your brain and heart. But the cost is steep. Shrinking limbs, weakening posture, and fading balance. Over time, it's not just about losing muscle, it's about losing control. When people in their 80s say, "I just don't feel steady anymore," it's not clumsiness, it's chemistry. The brain is sending signals to muscles that are no longer there. A study published in the American Journal of Medicine found that seniors diagnosed with sarcopenia are 5 times more likely to fall or suffer a fracture. And those who lose more than 10% of their leg muscle have double the risk of death within 3 years. I remember George, an 83-year-old retired carpenter who once lifted lumber like it was nothing. When he came to see me, he said, "Doc, I'm not tired, I'm hollow." His muscles hadn't just weakened, they'd been metabolized. His body had started burning them for survival. "It's like feeding your fire with your own furniture," I told him. And that's exactly what happens. When your body runs low on energy, it converts your muscle protein into glucose for fuel. But here's the part that most people overlook. Sarcopenia doesn't just steal strength. It affects your immunity, balance, and even your brain. Muscles serve as reservoirs for amino acids that help make immune cells and neurotransmitters. When those reserves disappear, your body loses its backup system. That's why people with low muscle mass heal slower, catch infections more easily, and experience more fatigue, brain fog, and depression. The link between muscle health and longevity is undeniable. The weaker your muscles, the shorter your lifespan. The good news? You can still fight back. Every step, every stretch, every bite of protein tells your body, don't shut down. I still need this strength. Your muscles may begin consuming themselves, but movement and nutrition can remind your body how to rebuild. Number 1. Your sleep clock reverses itself. Once you reach 80, one of the most unsettling changes doesn't happen when you're awake. It happens when you're supposed to be asleep. Your internal sleep clock, the rhythm that once kept your nights peaceful and your mornings bright, starts flipping itself upside down. Suddenly you're wide awake at 3 a.m., napping after breakfast, and exhausted long before sunset. It's not insomnia, it's your brain's timekeeper, called the circadian rhythm, losing its alignment with daylight. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found that after 80, the brain's master clock, located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a tiny cluster of about 20,000 neurons behind your eyes, begins to weaken. This clock relies on light cues from your eyes to tell your body when to release hormones like melatonin and cortisol, which control sleep and alertness. But as your eyes age and absorb less light, the signal gets distorted. Your body still wants to rest and wake, but it no longer knows when. That's why so many older adults develop what scientists call advanced sleep phase syndrome, falling asleep too early, waking up too soon, and dozing off during the day. It's not bad sleep habits. It's biology adapting to a dimmer world. A 2022 sleep medicine review revealed that nearly 60% of adults over 80 experience this shift. But this internal flip affects far more than sleep. When your circadian rhythm drifts off track, your body temperature, hormones, and digestion follow. Your liver may begin processing food at odd hours. Your heart rate and blood pressure may fluctuate unpredictably. Even your immune system starts to lose rhythm. A Journal of Gerontology study found that seniors with disrupted sleep patterns had triple the risk of heart problems and cognitive decline compared to those with stable cycles. I once treated Rose, an 82-year-old teacher who told me, "It feels like my nights and days have traded places." She'd wake up when the world was asleep and feel drowsy by breakfast. Her blood work was fine, her internal clock wasn't. Through gentle morning light therapy and consistent meal timing, we reset her rhythm within weeks. "It's like my body finally remembered how to rest," she said, smiling through tears. Sleep after 80 isn't just rest, it's repair. During deep sleep, your brain literally washes itself, clearing out toxins through a system called the glymphatic network. When your sleep becomes shallow or fragmented, that cleansing stops. Waste proteins like beta amyloid begin to build up, the same toxins linked to Alzheimer's. In other words, poor sleep means poor brain protection. But there's hope. Exposure to morning sunlight, keeping lights dim in the evening, maintaining consistent bedtimes, and eating meals at regular hours can all help retrain your body clock. Gentle stretching or short walks during the day also strengthen your circadian rhythm. Melatonin supplements can support but not replace these natural cues. So, when you find yourself awake before dawn or drifting off too early, it's not weakness. It's your brain trying to recalibrate time itself. Because by the age of 80, even your sleep stops being automatic. It becomes a conversation between your body and the ticking clock of life. So, there you have it. The 5 transformations your body goes through once you pass 80. Whether you want them or not, your senses dull, your muscles weaken, your brain rewires, and your sleep clock resets. But none of this means you're broken. It means you're still adapting. Your body is rewriting the rules to keep you alive in its own remarkable way. Modern science now shows that even after 80, you can rebuild strength, sharpen focus, and restore balance. You can't stop time, but you can learn to move with it. Stay curious, stay active, and never underestimate your body's ability to evolve. Which of these 5 changes have you noticed in yourself or a loved one? Tell me in the comments. I read every single story personally. If this video helped you understand your body better, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone over 70, and subscribe for more doctor-backed insights into healthy aging. Because growing old isn't the end. It's your body writing a new chapter of endurance, wisdom, and grace.